Team leadership. I want to talk to you about team leadership. And I think team leadership is a bit like juggling. Don't you find sometimes your team just seems to be going around and round in circles? Team meetings, the same stuff comes up all the time. Oh, dearie me. Or the same things have been batted forward and back all the time. Same issues, maybe between the same two factions in your team. Maybe you feel like your team is just a series of ups and downs. It's going well one day, terribly the next day, and you just can't seem to get any satisfaction in your team. Maybe there's someone in your team who just doesn't engage. They're stuck on the outside. Maybe they're a bit shy, a bit low in self-confidence. And you try and enjoy them and try and involve them for a bit. And it seems to be going quite well for a while. And then suddenly you find they're on the outside again because it all seems a bit forced and artificial. Or maybe you've got someone who's on the outside, but they're there because they're putting themselves on the outside. They think they're better than everybody else. They're a bit aloof. They're antagonistic towards the rest of the team. Maybe they're trying to pull all the strings or push other people around all the time, being really selfish, out to grab all they can. Or maybe you're sitting there thinking, well, John, when I think of my team, you've nearly said it, but not quite. It just seems to be a complete and utter mess. Well, if your team is in any one of those situations, you need some sort of a solution. And what could that solution be? We need to lead with kindness and generosity. If we want our teams to work, we need to work for our teams. Now, the reason I've got cards out, did you know when you shuffle a pack of cards, there will never have been a pack of cards in that particular order ever before. And there never will be ever again. The number of possible combinations is so big it's never going to be repeated. And the way you work it out is, does anyone know, this was on QI a few years ago. The way you work out the number of possible combinations is 52 factorial. Written 52 exclamation mark, and it means 52 times 51 times 50 times 49 times 48 all the way down to 1. And the answer is roughly 8 with 67 zeros after it. So the chances of it ever being repeated are as good as none. And the reason I talk about this is because each one of us has had way more than 52 influences in our life. These start even in the womb. You know, whether the mum eats cake before they eat olives, and which order that happens in affects the baby's tastes later on. And these influences carry on in our education and our relationships and our family and our background, and all of it means we're all completely different, which means that everyone in your team is completely different. And that poses a challenge. Now I need 4 volunteers now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could you come up here, please? Thank you very much. 4 completely different people. Give them a clap. Thank you very much. If you'd like to line up next to each other here. Thank you very much. So, from this pack, which shuffled? Yes? Okay. How many cards are there?
2.
2? Not a trick question. There you go. They'll come later. And how many are there? Full pack, no jokers? 52. So the first one is counting, the second one, knowledge. Then we go for this. Now that is estimation, and that is 10. Now you might think that looks like more or less than 10, but if you think about it, it's about a fifth of the pack. So Hilary, could you take a chunk of about 10? Hold them next to my chunk. There we go. Not bad, maybe slightly fewer. Just take a chunk of about 10, George. Hold them next to Hilary's. Okay. You may have compensated for Hilary there. Okay. If you'd just like to take a chunk. Fiona. Thank you very much. Hold them next to George's. It's not far off. And then Ruth.
Do I get what's left?
No, just take a chunk of 10. So if you've taken a chunk of 10 each, how many should I have left? 12. You are good at maths. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're slightly out, but I think I know what you've done. Despite the fact that these 4 people, this team, are all completely different, and they've all estimated in their own way, if they're well managed, you can achieve something amazing. Maybe not what the leader set out to achieve or stated as the purpose, but they come up with something amazing. But I think you've achieved something between yourselves, kind of subliminally and communally. I think between yourselves, you've decided to channel the number 10 in a slightly different way. Could you all hold your cards like that so everyone can see? Everyone just turn over your top card. Thank you, everybody. 10, 10, 10, 10. So everybody is different. And we kind of know this. We've sort of realised we're all completely different. But as team leaders, do we actually absorb that? Now, imagine you've got 3 different types of people in your team. Okay, you've got a short person, middle-sized person, and a tall person. Or you might have someone who takes a long time to think about things, or someone who's a medium processor, someone's a very fast processor. Or you might just have someone who has a long attention span, can focus on detail for a long time, someone with an average one, and someone with a short attention span. Back in the room, David. Thank you. So the thing is, even though we know they're all different as leaders, we do have a tendency sometimes, I do this, I'm definitely guilty of this. Everyone just do a magic blow. Even though we know everyone's different, we tend to assume when we're making leadership decisions that everybody starts from the same place. And of course they don't. We try and treat everybody identically. I'm guilty, and I've done this in teams recently and felt the pain afterwards, of assuming everybody is starting from the same place. But of course they're not, because everyone's got different experiences, everyone has a different map of the world, everyone sees things differently, everyone has different assumptions. So what you need to do, magic blow again please, is to work with each person in a way that is appropriate to them. And then you'll get much, much better results. My magic formula is basically getting to know your team members, taking the time to get to know them, finding out where they're at, what they're like, who they are, and working with each one from that point. And once you do that with each team member individually, then the team will work better all together. You need the magic formula: move, attune, give, inspire, connect. What gets them going emotionally? What moves them? Can you attune to them? Work out where they're at. Walk in their shoes. How can you be generous to them? Give them something. How can you get them excited? And how can you connect with them? Move, attune, give, inspire, and connect. Be generous. Now, I'd like to teach a couple of people to juggle. Who would like to learn to juggle? Can I have someone who's, have you ever juggled before? Oh, perfect, excellent. It's Caroline? Caroline or Caroline? Caroline, good, come on. Excellent, good. And do we have anyone here who can juggle? Anyone juggle a bit? You can juggle a bit, Fiona. Caroline. So Caroline, have you ever juggled before? Okay, what I want you to do is just to throw the ball from about this high, pretend you've got a unicorn horn, just throw it over the unicorn horn and catch it in the other hand. Very nice, and back the same way. Brilliant, right, now we'll go for 2. Now, you right-handed or left-handed? Sorry. Right. No trapdoors in the magic routines, I promise. Right-handed, okay, very wise. Just line it up. So we're going to start with your left hand, and I want you to pretend there's a big X here. Okay? And you're going to throw the balls, 1, 2, and they'll land 3, 4. So this one goes first. Yeah. 1, up to here, not yet. She's a go-getter. We like this. So this goes up to here. When it gets there, you throw that one up to there, and you let them fall on the floor. Okay? And it should be a nice rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So just give that a go. Very good. Now, you can do that. That is very good. But did it feel weird? Yeah. It did feel weird because we tend to think the most important thing about juggling is catching. And it's not. It's not even throwing. The most important thing about juggling is the rhythm. It's that 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to get a new mindset. You have to break an old habit. The reason I get you to start with your left hand is because you've probably been doing this. Have you ever done that when you were a kid? Mm-hmm. And if I got you to start with your right hand, you would automatically pass that across. So do it with your left hand again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very nice. Excellent. You go a little bit higher. Back up to here. Very nice. And how are you getting on, Fiona? So I'm going to get you to do the same thing. What I'd like you to do, so you're going around in circles like this. Yeah. See if you can do it in a cross like that.
Coordination is so not my thing.
That's it. That was better. That was good. The reason I'm doing this, to learn to juggle, you do have to break old habits. You do have to change your mindset. And you do have to learn the new rhythm. And it's often the same. If you've got in a habit as a team leader of thinking, I'm the boss, everyone's the same, they've got to start from where I'm at, we need a new mindset. We need to learn the rhythm of each team leader. And we need to break old habits and start doing new ones. Well done. Now, thank you very much for your help. And can you see, I found out where each of them was at and then started from that point. And where Fiona said she was at wasn't actually where she was at. Yeah. Give them a clap. Thank you, Fiona and Caroline. I'd like everyone to try something now. Could everyone stand up? Can't believe I'm going to do this. All right, this is what I want to teach you, okay? Some of you might be able to do this already. Can anyone do that? That's pretty good. That's not bad. So this is I'm mainly doing this to reassure myself that my teenage years weren't completely wasted. It's a body popping wave. Now, I learned it like that when I was a teenager. Then when I went to mime and physical theatre school, you learn to do it like that. So I'm going to teach you how to do it like that. So arms out straight, then bring them in a bit, and then just try twisting your elbows up. So your hands, imagine your hands are flat on something and they don't move. Elbows up and down. Right. Then start like this. So elbows level with your hands. Fingers up, just on one side. Those fingers come down and your knuckles go up. Knuckles come down, wrist goes up. Wrist goes down, elbows comes up. Elbow down, shoulder forward. Switch shoulders. Shoulder down, elbow up. One. Okay. Now, I don't expect most of you to be able to do that immediately. But that's fine. I've given you the knowledge. You can all now learn to do it. And you can now impress or embarrass people on the dance floor as appropriate. But the only way you will do that is by going away and practicing it. You can't do that just with the knowledge. Like you can't learn to juggle just with the theory. You've got to actually do it. You can sit down now. Give yourselves a clap. You did very well. And it is precisely the same with being a servant leader. You can't just know the theory of it and think I've got to be kind. You've got to make the effort. You've got to make a habit of starting to spend time one-to-one with your team members. Get to know them. Find out where they're at. What are their assumptions? What are they finding difficult? What are they enjoying? What inspires them? You've got to actually do it. So, going back to the team leadership being like juggling. So, I think you'll agree, if you are in any one of those situations, what you could do within your team leadership is a complete change. I like that one, so we'll do it again. What you could do within your team leadership is a complete change. And I think the best way for you to get this change is by using the magic formula. Moving, attuning, giving, inspiring, connecting with your team members. And get in the habit of actually doing it. Because when you do, sometimes it'll go wrong. You'll learn from your mistakes. There's no drops. There's no failures. There's only learning. But you'll find that your team changes for the better, not once, but again and again and again. Thank you.